Let me take you back 10 years ago. This was my first computer, the MacBook Pro 13-inch 2014. And I will go on record and say that that was probably the most that I was using that laptop. Video editing, graphic design, photo editing. I wasn't particularly good at any of it, but I was using it pretty much every single day. And that editing setup with this giant, with this thing over here, this is a giant 5 terabyte hard drive, which you actually had to plug into, hold on, I don't know if you can see. You actually had to plug this thing into a wall socket. And I would go from Starbucks to Starbucks looking for a seat next to a plug socket for me to go ahead and work. And I'm telling you guys this because when I was 25 or so, I got myself a full-time job doing like sport video editing. And that sort of changed things for both the good and the bad. When I got that full-time job and I was working in the office, I was introduced to something. I was introduced to monitors. I was introduced to working with a mouse instead of the trackpad or the track mat or whatever it's called on a laptop. It was just a whole new world. It was like a revelation. I was like, holy cow, this is how you can edit. And at that time, I really thought that was it. That's the way I wanted to edit. I didn't want to edit on a laptop anymore. I just wanted to be in an office, you know, one day build a home office and just work from there. There's no point having a laptop. Just go down, you know, that route. And so I did. I love this office space. I am super proud of it, and I am super lucky and privileged to be able to even have an office like this in my apartment. The mistake I made was I decided to upgrade to the Mac Studio instead of the next MacBook Pro. Over here? Yeah. Awesome. Now, in no way is this a dig on the Mac Studio. It is a phenomenal machine. From a performance level, it is impeccable. And I love the fact that it's got 5 or 6 USB-C ports, which is super helpful for when I'm working off of thousands of hard drives, which is actually pretty common. But over time, I started to realize something. I never left this office. I was just always in here, no matter what I was working on, whether I was working short form, long form, client work, personal work, it doesn't matter. It was always in here. There was no change. And I'm someone who likes to take little getaway weekends with my girlfriends or take a week away and go work remotely. I haven't been able to do that because I didn't have a laptop anymore. I even got hired recently to do a job in New Orleans, which was more of a filming job, but there was a little bit of editing on site that was involved, and I had to sort of be like, yo, I don't actually have a laptop. Any chance you guys could, you know, help me out with one for that week? All right, we're here in New Orleans, getting some slow-mo action of these jet skis, dudes. The fact that I'm in like a coffee house right now and I'm just working on like a full edit, like not just like writing a script or anything, like, you know, easy, like proper heavy duty, full, no problem, and it's handling it no problem whatsoever, like faster than my computer setup at home. It's just insane. So after a lot of saving and a lot of deep breaths and a lot of thought, I decided to go ahead and make the switch from the Mac Studio to the MacBook Pro. I've owned this computer for about a week now, and I've already seen such a difference in the enjoyment that I have with working, the fun of being able to just take my laptop and go to a coffee shop or anywhere. It's honestly so pleasant. I can't believe I didn't really realize that when I was making the switch from the laptop to the Mac Studio. Well, yeah, the Mac Studio can do everything that the laptop can do, but the laptop can do everything that the studio can do anywhere in the world, anywhere, on a plane, and a bus, wherever you want. All right, so quick little update here. So I've been working in here for about, I don't know, like 2 hours or so, give or take. And the battery life, dude, it has barely moved. Like, I've never, like, this is crazy. I've never seen a laptop with this amount of power. That is, and just like that, I've been able to get 3 hours of proper work done without being in my house. And yes, it's true that with the lack of USB-C, it doesn't have as many USB-C ports as the Mac Studio does. That is an advantage of the Studio, but with the contraption like this, yes, it's not as sexy on the desk. It looks a little bit more messy and whatnot, but I'd much rather be able to switch it up and be able to hook the laptop on to the monitor and be able to pick it up and go somewhere for more chilled out work. It is no limitations. I can create from anywhere now. And it's something that I have deeply, deeply missed these past 5 years. Also, I apologize to all of you who are hoping that this was gonna be more of a tech, you know, informative review or something about this new laptop. There are tons of awesome YouTube videos and YouTubers who have covered this, but just to let you know which specs I got and which computer I decided to go for. Bearing in mind, I do a lot of video editing, graphic design, photo editing, things like that. That's what I'm gonna be using this computer, 99% of the time for. I got the 14-inch M4 Pro chip, 1 terabyte of storage, 48 gigabytes of RAM, 16-core CPU, and a 20-core GPU. I have no idea what 90% of that means. All I do know is it slices through my 4K footage like butter.